Today we're going to talk about the Rode Filmmaker wireless audio system. Welcome to another episode of SUCFS. I'm your host, Mike Crockett, and over the last several months I've been using a lav mic system that Rode released last year called the RODELink Filmmaker wireless audio system. Now, before I go any further, I would like to mention that I am not being paid by Rode to review this product, and everything that I say strictly is just my own opinion. With that said, I do have some critical things to say about the RODELink, but they are few. For the most part, this mic system is pretty solid. I don't know that I would actually use it for what its name implies. When making films, I would still gravitate towards using a boom mic for capturing dialogue, simply because I wouldn't have to try to hide that on the actors. However, if you do decide to use this mic for capturing dialogue, one really cool feature is that you can use up to 8 mic packs simultaneously with a single receiver. This is a feature that I haven't actually tried because I only have the one system, and no, you cannot buy transmitters separately from the receiver. While it is a cool feature, I don't know that I actually would try it, simply because I would want the ability to adjust the volume levels of my actors independently, instead of having all of my actors coming in on the same channel. The casing on both the mic pack and the receiver pack is made completely out of plastic, but the system doesn't feel cheap in any way. On the transmitter, you push a button to open the case slightly to reveal pairing and gain controls, and slide it open a little further to reveal the battery compartment that requires only 2 AA batteries. You have a similar setup with the receiver, except instead of gain controls, you get attenuation controls. I mentioned pairing controls, but this system is even much easier to use than it sounds. I turn on my receiver, and then I turn on my transmitter, and they automatically pair with one another. But the pairing controls will allow you to sync more transmitters to the receiver, as I mentioned before. On top of the transmitter, you have your power button that can also act as a mute button, a mic button, and your channel indicator. On top of the receiver, you have your power button, a channel button, a button that will mute the transmitter, as well as lock the mute so that your talent wearing the transmitter can't accidentally mute or unmute himself, and an LCD screen that indicates your channel, battery levels of both units, and audio level. On the side of the receiver is an 1/8" line jack that is threaded to match the 1/8" connector that comes with the system to connect the receiver to your camera or audio recorder. Quite frankly, I always find it hard to get the darn thing threaded, and usually end up just plugging it in without screwing it down. The mic input on the transmitter is also threaded, and this seems to be easier to screw down, but the mic that came with my system was actually defective. You see, the end of the wire screws into the 1/8" plug, and my wire had a defect in the end of it that rendered the mic inoperable, which was kind of a letdown for me because I had a shoot in 2 days, and my plan was to receive this mic, test with it for a day, and then go shoot. But I had to call Rode, and they were actually pretty good about the situation. They shipped me a new mic with 2 days shipping, all for free. But I had to receive it after the day of my shoot. Luckily, I have other lav mic systems, and I was able to use a mic from one of them with this system without any issues. There seemed to be a known issue with these mics at launch, according to some forums that I found, but Rode was happy to take care of the problem, no questions asked. Unfortunately, it was only a few months until the plug itself actually stopped working. But Rode, being the customer-oriented company that they are, is actually shipping me a completely new one-piece microphone element free of charge to replace the whole thing. Right now, you're hearing me on an element that came with one of my other lav kits. Both the transmitter and the receiver have belt clips attached to them, but they also come with cold shoe mounts for mounting on your gear. The system also comes with a foam windscreen as well as a miniature dead cat for blocking wind noise. One other thing to mention is that the system operates on an encrypted signal, and you have up to a 100-meter range. I personally haven't had too many problems with interference, because this system is pretty good about managing that automatically. However, occasionally when I put my headphones on while filming, I can hear a very faint, high-pitched electronic whistling sound. But it's always been easy to cover up or even ignore in post because it's never heard in the final video over everything else that's going on. I really do like this system. Not only does it perform really well, but it also costs much less than other comparable lav mic systems at only $399 on B&H. So that's it for this episode of SUCFS. Be sure and subscribe so that you'll see when we put out new videos on our channel. And we'll see you again next time right here on SUCFS.